All right. Ndewonu na-abịaruola. Aha. Welcome everybody. Okay. Trying to adjust the camera. Unu na-anụ ihe m na-ekwu? Christina Mart. Everybody, kedu ndị nọ na YouTube? Ngwa ka anyị kesaa nụ nkụzi nke ụbọchị taa. Ka anyị mee ka ndị mmadụ mara na anyị ebidokwala. All right. This is all right. This central. Good. Daalụkwanụ. Fada ndewo. Fada ị bịaruola. Aha. Ngwa ka anyị na-anabata ndị mmadụ. Kemenụ ka ha mara na oge nkụzi nke ụbọchị taa eruola, n'ihi na isiokwu nke anyị ji n'aka bụ nke gbara ọkpụrụkpụ, nke na ha ekwesịghị ịnọ n'azụ mgbe a na-akụzi ya. Let's invite people, and then if you are on TikTok, please let's start tapping. Start tapping. Prince Nedum, there. Let's invite. It's time. Ka anyị chetara ụmụnne anyị na ụmụnna anyị ndị nwoke na ndị nwanyị n'oge nkụzi nke ụbọchị taa eruokwala ọzọ. Anyị ka nọkwa n'isiokwu nke kwuru sị Igbo na-asụ n'olu n'olu. Ya ka anyị ka na-akpa. Isiokwu nke kwuru sị Igbo na-asụ n'olu n'olu. Ya ka anyị ka na-akpa. Please, if you join, invite others. Whether on YouTube or TikTok. Let's get this place filled up with people that are supposed to be here. I know the time change is affecting a few people. They're gonna have to get used to it. We can't help it. Wish we could. All right. Odozi Akozo Alo Rose ndewo. Ị bịara ngwa ngwa taa. All right. Holy Ghost Amber. Aha. Ndewo ndị niile na-abata, ndị niile na-esonye anyị daalụkwanụ. Oh. All right. Ana m ahụ unu, regalia, all of you. Okay, so let's tap on the screen. Let's tap on the screen. On TikTok, YouTube. Please, let's tap on the screen. I can on isiokwu nke si Igbo na-asụ n'olu n'olu. Igbo na-asụ n'olu n'olu. All right. Okay. Toby, ndewo. Ana m anabata mmadụ niile. For those of you that are fortunate to have met this class for the first time today, this is Igbo Literacy Project brought to you by Omenka app. Omenka app is an organization fronting the preservation, promotion of Igbo language. And we are doing this through multi-dimensional action. We are doing this by providing resources, creating the app that enables you to learn and understand Igbo. We focus on how to speak and how to write. We are also doing this by providing the resources through this class, Igbo Literacy Project, that we do every week at this time. We are also creating literacy contents. And when we mean literacy, we do not focus on early literacy alone. We concentrate on literacy in general as it pertains to younger people, children, and adults. And this is because ndewo Mrs. Suzalo. Dalo. Yeah, ị bịara na ngwa taa. Ndewo. Chukwu gbaa gị ume na mbọ ị na-agba. Isonye na ihe a na-eme. Daalụkwa. All right. Ugbu a ana m asụ Bekee maka ndị Bekee. Aga m abịaghachi n'Igbo. All right. But while I continue with my introduction, please, let's do two things. Let's tap on the screen and let's share the class. Let's share the class. People are supposed to be here. They are not here yet. There are many people who have not really been used to the new time, the change of time we had. Henry Arinze Dalo. Okay, so we are doing this to ensure that every Igbo person, every Igbo young person has an opportunity of being enculturated. Enculturated, when we mean that, we mean people who were not fortunate enough to acquire Igbo language as they are growing up. And because they are born outside of Igbo land, whether overseas or in Nigeria outside of Igbo land, because also, unfortunately, their parents did not introduce Igbo, did not introduce them early, expose them early to the language because of English. This set of people continue to look for ways to get enculturated. So in Omenka app, we are providing avenues, we're providing resources for such set of Igbo sons and daughters. So if you are one of those, you are fortunate to be here. We're also providing resources for non-Igbo speakers, non-native speakers of Igbo language who happen to have affiliation with Igbo. If you are affiliated by marriage, affiliated by friendship, affiliated by work, or any other reason for your affiliation, we provide this class and other resources for you to be enculturated and also to learn Igbo and be more familiar with the language of your affiliation. All right. Ndewo. All right. Enye ndebe nwanne nwanyị ndewo. Egemba dalo. All right, let's keep tapping on the screen. I see that I don't know if it's my network or other people's network showing that it's a little bit unstable. Yeah, let's keep tapping on the screen. Let's invite people over. Class has started. It has started. Today, we are also going to dig deeper into the topic. Igbo na-asụ n'olu n'olu. Chinonso Ohio, Dalu. How are you, Kedu? All right. N'ụbọchị taa, anyị gaje ilebapụ anya na dịka olu ndị Igbo si apụta ihe na aha a na-agụ, aha a na-akpọ mmadụ. Daalụ, Maazị Kingsley. You're welcome. Thank you. Right. Taa, anyị gaje ileba anya n'ụzọ ihe abụọ ka olu ndị si abanye n'aha a na-akpọ mmadụ. Ihe ọzọ a gaji leba anya bụ ka olu ndị si apụta ihe na mgbe anyị na-enwe mkparịta ụka n'otu ụzọ ndụ anyị na-ebi. Otu ụzọ ndụ ahụ anyị na-ebi bụ ihe gbasara azụmahịa. Ihe gbasara azụmahịa. Ụzọ ihe abụọ anyị gaji leba anya bụ ka olu ndị si apụta ihe n'aha a na-akpọ anyị, aha Igbo anyị. For those of you that do not know, if you are not a native speaker of Igbo, but you are friend with Igbo people, and you know the name of your friend, you may not know that your friend's name may be a name coming from their dialect, not a general Igbo. But if that name is named in another dialect, it could sound a different way. Maybe when you hear that name in another dialect, you may not know it is still the same name. We're going to be looking at naming. Why we are concerned about naming is in Omenka app, we are studying the evolution of names in Igbo. Evolution and changes that occur in names in Igbo. What I mean by evolution is how names are being invented over the times, over dispensations of times. People who lived in the 30s, who lived in the 40s, 50s, 60s, how they named in Igbo. And people who lived in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, like the 21st century, how they named. There were Wada success. Amaghị m ihe na-eme YouTube. I think people have been coming and dropping. Is the network okay? Let me know. I can beef it up by using my Wi-Fi. All right, Olivia Toklo. Thanks for joining. 20th December. Ndewo. Ọ naanị gị ma ihe aha gị pụtara, mana ama m na ịbụ nwa afọ Igbo. Okay, right. Ịbụrụ nwa afọ Igbo, ịbụrụ nwa afọ Igbo batara ebe a. It's not so strong. Is it glitching on YouTube? Let me change the network for the YouTube, please. Okay. Give me 1 sec. Let me move to another network. Please let me know if it is better now. All right. Daalụ. Biko ndị nọ na YouTube, ndị nọ na TikTok, naanị mkpụrụ mmadụ ole ka m na-ahụ na-emetụrụ anyị aka n'akara ịhụnanya. Just a couple of people I'm seeing that are tapping on the screen. I know that this is a learning class. People get glued to wanting to learn than getting involved in tapping on the screen. But I encourage you, the tapping on the screen and sharing of the live is very important to this class because it helps develop the reputation. It helps the reputation of the class to grow. So if you like what you're doing, what you're learning, it is as simple as doing like this on the screen, as much as you can to ensure that more people will continue to see the class. More people should see the class because we are here on a serious business that is focused on the promotion of Igbo language. All right. So what I'm looking at today is how our dialects affect naming in our communities. Also, I'm looking at how our dialects come into our daily conversation. But we are going to be looking at one aspect of that conversation today, and that is a conversation coming from business transaction or market transaction, as you may say. So, which is that if you go to the market, how do you initiate a conversation in the market with, if you are the seller or if you are the buyer, whichever way, whichever position you are in, how do you initiate a conversation and how do you carry it out and be able to sustain and have a good transaction between you and the other person. So if you are the buyer, between you and the seller. If you are the seller, between you and the buyer. That's what we're looking at. All right. And this, even though I am not doing the class conversation today like we usually do, I want it to be interactive. So you're going to be writing a lot. And while I'm going to be talking a lot. All right. So it is 26 minutes, or rather, it's about 20 minutes since we started. And so I want the conversation to begin. So for some of you that are joining for the first time, you're welcome. This is Igbo Literacy Project. We teach Igbo, we speak Igbo, we discuss Igbo. If you are here, you are an Igbo speaker, and you do not know why I'm speaking English as a mix-up, just know because it is because those that are in my class that do not understand Igbo, but they enjoy this class, I want to make sure that they do not feel offended that they also learned from our class. They are Igbo sons and daughters, only that they do not know how to speak their language, which is what we want to correct here. Ndewonu, mmadụ niile. All right. Ọtụtụ n'ime anyị ndị amụrụ na mba mana anyị na-aza aha Igbo maara ihe aha anyị pụtara. Ụfọdụ amaghị ihe aha ha pụtara. Dịka m na-akpọ aha. dịka m na-akpọ aha ọ dị mkpa ka mmekọ unu mara na o nwere onye ọzọ ga-ekwu okwu ihe ga na-anụ bụ afa afa afa. Amakwara m na e nwere onye ọzọ ga-ekwu okwu ihe ga-anụ bụ ava. Okay, mana ọ dị mkpa ka m mee ka ị mara na ndịiche dị na aha aha na afa na ava bụ ihe anyị na-eleba anya nke bụ ụda nke bụ olu ndị dịka Igbo na-asụ n'olu n'olu mana akwa ụkwara ọ bụrụ otu. Enyego m anyị akụkọ ihe gbasara ka olu ndị Igbo si dere. Vidio klaasị abụọ anyị mere nke gara aga ga-akọwara gị. Ọ bụrụ na ịbịaghị klaasị ahụ biko gbaa mbọ mee ka ị gaa lee vidio ahụ na ọ nọ na YouTube. Ndewonu. Alright. Dịka m na-ekwu aha m wee sị na ọ bụ SI. Gịnị ka anyị si na SI bụ? Gịnị bụ SI? Ndị bịara klaasị izu abụọ gara aga n'izu gara aga, gịnị bụ SI? Is an abbreviation. Ndị bịara ụlọ akwụkwọ, ndị bịara nkụzi, gịnị bụ SI? Ụmụ akwụkwọ ha n'ebe anyị eye kedu onye ma ihe bụ SI? SI. Success is not sick, it's not SI. Anaghị m ekwu IS is. Dịka m dere ya ebe a, aha SI. Afa, dialect. Ava, dialect. What is SI? For those that came to class. Standard what? Intonation. Hey, echekwa na onwe ndị bịara class ya. Standard Igbo. All right. Standard Igbo. Okay. SI pụtara Standard Igbo. All right. Ihe o ji dị mkpa na anyị matara ndịiche dị na Standard Igbo na olu ndị bụ Standard Igbo nke a na-akpọ Igbo izugbe. Igbo izugbe. Ihe o ji dị mkpa na anyị matara ndịiche dị na izugbe na olu ndị bụ na anyị maara dịka m kwuru na izu ụka abụọ gara aga na anyị niile topụtara wee nụ Igbo akụziri anyị maọbụ Igbo anyị mụtara dịka anyị na-eto. Mana ọ bụrụ na ile anya ndị na-agụ akwụkwọ na-agụ ihe gbasakwara Igbo, mgbe ọbụla a ga-ele gị ule n'agbanyeghị ihe ọbụla ị na-asụ bụ olu ndị unu, ị gaa n'ụlọ akwụkwọ mgbe a na-ele gị ule, ihe eji edere gị Igbo bụ izugbe. The standard is what is in the literature. Ọ bụrụkwa na akwụkwọ nke a na-ede ede, ọ bụrụ na ịgụ akwụkwọ edere n'Igbo, ihe eji edekwa ya bụ gịnị? Standard izugbe. Standard Igbo izugbe. Right. But sometimes you might also see some writers put in their dialects into their write-ups, and it is, yes, acceptable, because all of us, we experience what we call interference. Our dialects interfere in our speech, in our writing. The reason is because this is a version of the language you acquired growing up as a child. There's no way you can completely drop speaking it. There's no way you can avoid speaking it while you are speaking Igbo. The way we have interference when we are speaking English Sometimes our Igbo interferes, our accent interferes in our English. The same thing happens when we are speaking Igbo, our dialect interferes. All right. Nke mbụ, ihe m chọrọ ka anyị mee na klaasị nke ụbọchị taa bụ anyị bido n'aha. Gịnị bụ aha gị? Ị chere na aha gị bụ olundi ka ị chere na aha gị bụ aha Igbo nwere ike ịkpọ dịka aha Igbo nwere ike ịgụ? Ka anyị bido n'aha gị. Ị chere na aha Igbo gị bụ olundi? Gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? I would like you to write out your Igbo names here. Let us look at it. Do you think your Igbo name is dialectal? Do you think your Igbo name is a name that Igbo can call generally? Ikenna, you're welcome. All right, ka anyị bido na nke ahụ. Gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? Gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? Ị chere na aha Igbo gị bụ olundi? Ka ị chere na aha Igbo gị bụ izugbe? Chibueze, do you think it is olundi? Do you think it is dialectal? Ebubechukwu, do you think it is olundi? Do you think it's dialectal? You can always remember Ndewo has two A, Ndewo, okay? Always remember that. Dalum, one name, okay. Nneka, ọ bụ olundi ka ọ bụ izugbe? I just want these answers from the people that write in their names. Ebubechukwu, Chibueze, Nneka. Do you think it's izugbe? Do you think it's olundi? Nneka, Ebubechukwu, Chibueze. Kedu nke bụ olundi? Kedu nke bụ standard Igbo? Chibueze. Good, I agree. Chibueze, Ogechi. Ọ bụ olundi ka ọ bụ izugbe? Ihe ọ pụtara bụ na Ekwutos. Ikenna, Ekwutos, achọrọ m ka ị depụchaa ya. Ekwutos, depụchaa ya, depụchaa aha Igbo gị. Please. Nneka bụ izugbe. Good. Chibueze, izugbe. Good. Ogechi, SI. Good. Good. Ebubechukwu. Ekwutos, achọrọ m ka ị depụchaa ya. Ekwutos sịla m. Promi, kedu nwanne nke iji na-ede aha onye ọzọ? Promi. Ikenna, gịnị bụ inome? Ọ bụ aha? Promi, dee aha nke gị, dela aha onye ọzọ. I don't know why you are jumping into another person's matter. All right. I know what we're writing is our first names. Inome. Is it Inoma? Uzochukwu. Promi bụ Uzochukwu. Uzochukwu ọ bụ izugbe ka ọ bụ olundi? Let's continue. And Ikenna, aghọtabeghị m ihe ahụ i dere, biko ewekwala iwe. Is it Inoma? Ama m ọrụtazi ga-ejide ka anyị nwee ike ịghọta ya. All right, ihe anyị na-ede bụ our first name, right? I chere na ọ bụ izugbe? Iche na ọ bụ, ahụbeghị m onye dere Ebubechukwu, ọ gwabeghị anyị ma ọ bụ izugbe ma ọ bụ olundi. Uzochukwu, ọ bụ olundi? Is it SI? Is it dialectal? What do you think? Agbalụsịa ngene. Okay, agbalụsịa ngene. Na Ikenna, ama m ahụ ole i derela. All right. Ntụpụ anya, ọ bụ olundi? All right. Ụzọalụ, ntụpụ anya. Mana Ụzọalụ, i deburu Nneka. You wrote Nneka earlier. I'm still talking about Cross, my brother. Ndewo, you've registered your presence. Dalo. Ndewo, peace. Dalo. Peace. Gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? Your first name. I chere na ọ bụ olundi ka i chere na ọ bụ izugbe? Let's go. What is 444 in Igbo? All right. Emechaa ya bịa na nke ahụ. O. Ndewo Ikenna. Right. Agbalụsịa ngene. Agbalụsịa ngene bụ gịnị? Ọ bụ olu ndị ka ọ bụ izugbe? Ikenna ọ gị nwa dere ya. So ngwa. Nneka idere aha gị ọzọ bụ ntụpụ anya and ọ bụ olu ndị. Gịnị ka ọ pụtara? Gịnị ka ọ pụtara? Nke mbụ, kedu olu ndị ọ bụ? Nke abụọ, gịnị ka ọ pụtara? What dialect is it? And what is the meaning of it? Ntụpụ anya. Please, I want us to pay attention. This is a very important aspect of learning that we can easily neglect. What is ntụpụ anya? What is the meaning? And then kedu olu ndị ọ bụ? Okay. Yeah, please let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Peace. Gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? Ọ bụ olu ndị ka ọ bụ izugbe? All right. Then let me write my own. This is my Igbo name. Aha Igbo m bụ Ihechi. I chere na ọ bụ olu ndị ka I chere na ọ bụ izugbe? Chizurum bụ izugbe. All right, Chizurum. Peace. I chere na aha gị bụ izugbe? Chizurum. Achunike. Ikenna iderela ya aha ruru 5. Or Nanegi, Emenike. We are still on your name. Don't worry, we'll go over to other people's names, please. I just want us to concentrate starting from our names first. Because, all right, Chizurum Sena Ahayabu Izube. Mona Ahagebo, Mona Chimso. Ichenobi Izube. Do you think it is Izube kids? Do you think it's dialect? Now, the other thing is, does your name have a dialectal form? For those that have answered that their names are Izugbe, mostly everybody says that their name is Izugbe, mostly. Thank you, Ikenna. Thank you. Bless you. Chizurum, ichere na aha gị nwere olu ndị. Do you think that your name has a dialectal form? If you think that your name has a dialectal form, please write that dialectal form. And I want to be taking note of that. I have given you my name, and I asked you, do you think my Igbo name bụ Olundi ka ọ bụ Izugbe? Ntụpụ anya pụtara ilepụrụ ụwa anya. Ọ bụ olu ọba. Thank you. Thank you. Odoziakụ Ozalo. Ndewo. Ilepụrụ ụwa anya. Ọba. Excuse me. Ntụpụ anya. Let me write it down. Ntụpụ anya. Ilepụrụ ụwa anya. And I don't know olu ọba. That means olundi, right? Ndewo Uzalo. All right. So, ihe anyị na-ekwuzi bụ aha gị. Still, I need the answer to my question. Do you think my name, my Igbo name, is dialectal? Do you think it's SI? Okay. Ọ bụ Izugbe ka ọ bụ Olundi. Right. Again, ọ bụrụ na iche na aha gị bụ okay, Chiweze. Beautiful. So, Maazị Kingsley sị na aha Igbo ya Chibueze, Olundi ya bụ Chiweze. Chibueze and Chiweze. Kedu Olundi ọ bụ? This is SI. Maazị Chibueze. Ọ bụrụ na mmadụ, ọ bụrụ na aha gị akpọọ ya dịka Chiweze, kedu ndị iche kedu olu ndị bụ nke ahụ? Alright, Chizurum si na olu ndị aha ya bụ Chizulum. Okay, Chizulum. Kedu ndị ga-akpọ Chizurum Chizulum? That's another one. Ọdịbeze Imo. Ọdịbeze anụbeghị m aha gị. Amaghị aha gị ọ bụ Imo? We are doing a personal Ọdịbeze. Let's calm down. Let's be coming down small, you know. Right. First of all, gịnị bụ aha gị? Gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? Your first name. Write out your first name for us. Gwa anyị ma ọ bụ Olundi ma ọ bụ Izugbe. Zara, ndewo. Gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? Dee ya. Gwa anyị ma ọ bụ Izugbe ma ọ bụ Olundi. That's the procedure, okay? Is your name standard Igbo? All right, Chizurum sị na ndị Anambra ga-akpọ aha ya Chizulum. Chibueze sị na onye Imo nwere ike ịkpọ Chibueze as Chiweze. Beautiful, good. That is correct. But then Chibueze is Izugbe. So we are hearing that Chibueze could be Imo. Right. Okay. Now, Chibueze, do you think that there's another form an Anambra person could call your name? Is there any other form? That's another question for you. All right. Chizurum as well said, thank you, Seku Foods. Chizurum as well said, her name is Chizurum and it is standard Igbo. Mana onye Anambra nwere ike ịkpọ aha ya Chizulum. Chizulum. All right. Good. Ndewono. I salute everybody that has taken part in this exercise. Thank you, Okoro Odogu. Thank you for the $1 you gave me. Ndewo. Oh, Okoro Odogu. Gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? Your first name. Your first name. We are still on first name. Your first name. And is it Izugbe? Ikenna Dalo. Oh, ndewo. All right. Ebuka. Biko deputara m ya. Deputara m Ebuka. That's not the full name. Anambra will say Chinyelo, while Imo will say Chinyere. Ọdịbeze, is your name Chinyere? First of all. Then we'll go to the dialect. All right, Chukwuebuka, we have seen Chukwuebuka. Is it SI or is it dialectal? Chukwuebuka, ọ bụ standard Igbo? Igbo Izugbe ka ọ bụ Olundi? Ndewo. Ọdịbeze, aha ị na-akọwara anyị bụ Chinyere, right? It's supposedly be your name, right? All right, SI, Chukwuebuka, SI. Ị nwere ụzọ ọzọ nwere ike iji kpọọ Chukwuebuka n'olu ndị ọbụla? Zara, onye Anambra will pronounce Chizaram in dialect as what? I'm curious. Okay. All right, so Chizaram na-ajụzi anyị ajụjụ. Kedu ihe onye Anambra ga-akpọ Chizaram? Chizaram. Supposedly, Chizaram bụ Izugbe, right? So onye maara ajụjụ Chizaram, biko zaa ya. Kedu ihe onye Anambra ga-akpọ Chizaram? Right. All right. Ana m echekwu the answer to my name. Thank you, Gary. Daalụ. Ndewo maka okoko osisi ọma ahụ i nyere. Right. My Igbo name is Ihechi. Is it Izugbe? Is it dialect? All right. Maazi Kingsley say Chizaram. Onye Anambra ga-akpọ ya Chizalum. Chizalum. Do we really have a name as Chizalum in Anambra? If you are from that part of Igbo, you can help us. Do we have Chizalum? Okay. All right. But thank you for helping. Onye Anambra ga-akpọ ya Chizalum. Thank you, Mrs. Uzalo, as well. Okay. Anyị na ha ahụla ndiiche. We've been seeing, our names and how they metamorphosed, how they came about. I'm glad that a good number of us are familiar with the origins of our names and what they mean, okay? Which is beautiful. All right. Ihechi Izugbe. That's what Mazi Chibueze Nekwu Kingsley said that Obu Izugbe. If you all agree, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. If you think the Ihechi Izugbe. All right. And then I will ask you another question to that effect. Okay? While we are doing that, if you are joining us now, we are doing the third class of Igbo Na-asụ n'olu aspects of Igbo dialect. Today we are looking at how our dialects manifest in our names. The second part of today's class is going to be how our dialects manifest in our business transactions. Okay, that's why we are running this particular first part. We're going to go into business conversations or market conversations. This is the second thing we're going to look at today. Okay. Okorodogu Gary, thank you for that gift. Olundi, Okorodogu, Agame Chetazihi na Zadika Olundi is better if you are able to write the full sentence so that we get carried along, okay? Ndi YouTube, unokanona class ununemeka unonora. I've not been seeing much activities on your side. Ndi YouTube, hanona class here. All right. While we are doing that, so I'm still asking you about Ihechi Chizbweze Sinobu Olundi. Now the question is, my other question is any other person supporting that Ihechi is Olundi? I mean, is Izugbe rather, not Olundi. Is any other person supporting that? Do you think Ihechi is Izugbe? All right. And then I'll go to the next question. But while we are on that, let's move over to our last names. Gịnị bụ aha nna gị, aha ị na-aza? Ọ bụ Izugbe ka ọ bụ Olundi? Write out your last name, your father's name, the name you are answering, or your surname, and do you think is Olundi or Ezoke? Do you think it is Olundi or SI? Ichere na ọ bụ Izugbe ka ichere na ọ bụ Olundi? Ụwa Ezoke, uwe Ezoke. Okoronkwo wo Izugbe. Okoronkwo wo Izugbe, okay. Ibe ọ bụ Olundi ka ọ bụ Izugbe? Ibe ọ bụ Olundi ka ọ bụ Izugbe? What do you think it is? Aladum. All right, Gary, this might be tricky for me to pronounce because of the tone problem. Aladum. I wish you could pronounce it for us. But what will help us to understand is the meaning. Gary, gịnị ka aha nna gị pụtara? Ibe bụ Izugbe. Good. Ibe, anyị maara na Igbo. Ọ ga-ara ahụ ka ị nweta ebe a kpọrọ Ibe, anything else. Okay. Is that I'm pronouncing it well? All right. Gịnị ka ọ pụtara? What is the meaning of your last name? And what is it dialectal or standard? Okorodogu ide erikwala aha, ọ bụghị ala. What is your last name first before you tell us that it's combined success? All right, so please, let's write out our last name. Gịnị bụ aha nna gị? Gịnị? And please, I want the last name in full as well. Ọ bụrụ na aha nna gị bụ nke edebiri. Obi, ọ bụ Obi naanị ka ọ bụ Obi something. And Ibe as well. Ibe kwesịrị ịbụ aha edebiri. Kedu, what is the full? Ọ ga-enyere anyị aka ịghọta, where the name is coming from and, even the real or rather the meaning. Some names, because of how we now abbreviate them or write them, short form them, it becomes a little bit difficult for us to understand, right? Ikenna, omife jido for obuahanna again, Ikenna. Ikenna. Ndewo. All right. Opara ihede. Oh, wow. This is Opara ihede. Obu izugbe ka obu olundi. Opara ihede. All right. Somebody says Ihechibu izugbe. Ifechi in some part of Abia State. Ah, do Abia States. Okay. What part of Abia State? Peace. What part of Abia State will say Ifechi? Because I was expecting you to pronounce Anambra. Martha say Adenina. Adenina is not Igbo. Martha, Adenina, is it Igbo? That sounds a little bit foreign. Oh, Ademoma. Ademoma is still not Igbo. Anolam Ifeanyi. Okay, Ademoma, biko deputara ya, oh, just write the full. Martha. It doesn't sound Igbo to me. Ademoma does not sound Igbo to me. If he has a full, write it in full. All right. So I'm still, or at least you write what the meaning is. All right. I'm still following up on those who think that Ife Ihechi is Izugbe, and Peace has supported Kingsley to say it's Izugbe. February says that Ademoma is not Igbo. Of course, if you are an Igbo person, you should know a name that is Igbo. If you are not, you might wonder about that. All right. So if and Peace Owena is saying that Ifechi is what some Abia State people will call. I'm expecting to hear from Anambra. Ihechi is Izugbe. Okay, right? Izugbe. Good. All right, Martha. Beautiful. I'm glad you are learning. Martha, what is your Igbo name, if you have one? Your first name. Let's start with that before we go to your last name. All right. Okay. Let us go to, for those that have given their first names, I want us to go to last names. And that's where we are right now. What is your last name? And is your last name Izugbe or dialect? Martha is Mexican. All right, Martha, thank you for coming to class and wanting to learn alongside us. We welcome you. Please, if you have a question you ask, we'll be happy to answer you. If this is your first time, we meet here every Monday, okay? All right. Martha, Guerra is meaning war, okay? I didn't know that. So that's the Spanish meaning of Guerra. I do see that name many of the times. All right, you're welcome, Martha. I suppose your last name is Guerra. Sounds similar to French name as well. All right. All right. So success says Ifechi is Anambra, which is what I was expecting, is Anambra. But I was curious to hear from you, Peace, which part of Abia State will call Ifechi. Ifechi. I know that it should be Anambra. Some will say Ifenchukwu, Ifenchukwu, and all of that. But I want to use this, my own name, to show you the extent to which our dialects can be, vastly apart from either the standard or from one another. Okay. All right. Last name, the meaning. Do you think it is Izugbe or do you think it is dialectal? Last name. And So Ohebulem, you said it is combined. I do not know how. How is it combined? Last name, we have seen Ibe. We have seen what I can't remember. Okay, but I said okay, we've seen Obi, and both Ibe and Obi, we agree that they are Izugbe. But I also know that some of our names, when they are written in full, we might begin to look at how different they can be, whether it is dialectal or whether it is standard Igbo. And there has to be a difference. There has to be a difference. Obinna Odogu Ndewo. All right. I welcome everybody that is joining us for the first time and everybody that just coming to the class right now. This is Igbo Literacy Project, Dalo Obinna. And here we learn Igbo. Anyị na-asụ Igbo asụ Bekee, mana ihe niile anyị na-asụ, ihe ọ gbadoro ụkwụ bụ na ịmụta Igbo. For those of you that have been here for a while, you see that we have somebody from Mexico here in our class, having the interest of learning with us. And then we also have multiple Igbo sons and daughters who understand lesser Igbo but more English. And that is why we mix up our language in this class to make sure that everybody is carried along. Okay? I try my best to repeat what I say in English, I repeat it in Igbo, or vice versa. All right. Ndewo Obinna Odogu Dalo idetere Igbo gị nke ọma. All right. Peace we say na Ifechi could be heard in Ohafia, and I think I agree with you. Peace. I believe that people from Ohafia and Abreba can call Ifechi. I may have heard such a name before. Amanda Jane, you're welcome. Dalo. Ibu Nwafu Igbo, gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? Is it dialectal? Is it standard Igbo? All right, Oha is SI, while Lem is dialectal. Okay, Ohebulem is SI and dialectal combined. The name Ohebulem, that means if it is coming from another dialect, Anambra dialect, for instance, what would the name be? That's what I would like us to see. Ebulem. It says it is SI plus dialectal. And it says that and Ebulem dialectal. All right. I am inclined to agree to that. And who understands the concept? Who understands the concept of Ohebulem? Ndewo Ada. Thank you. Ada Dalo. Chukwugoziege. All right. Kingsley says Orebulem. If it is from Anambra, Orebulem. Is it true? Is it true if it is Anambra? Is it going to be Orebulem? It is. Is it true? Ora Ebunem. Wealth Chikwado said Ora Ebunem. Is it true? If it is Anambra, is it Orebunem? Okay. Well, Chikwado says yes, and Mrs. Susalo says yes, Orebunem. Now, success says it will be Ora. Orebunem. Which one is more correct? Because I was waiting for this. I was waiting for Ebunam. Which one is more correct? I know that even when I say Anambra dialect is also generic, right? Ora Ebulam. Okorodogwu Sora Egbulam. Between Ora Egbulam, Ora Egbulem, Ora Egbunem, Ora Egbunam. Cyprian say Nam, Ora Egbunam. Chinwendu say Ora Egbulem. In fact, if you are not from Anambra, any part of Anambra, please don't answer. Mrs. Susalo say Ora Egbunam. Ikenna say Ikenna ya Paula no ha. I know the Anambra Ora. I know the Nelo Ora. So you know what I told. All right, so between Orebunem, Ebulam, Ebunam, which one is more correct? All right, Ebunam. All right, Equatorem nor Ebunam might be more correct. I might be wrong, but I think it might be more productive. Nwa di uko, gịnị ka ọ pụtara? Nwa di uko, gịnị ka ọ pụtara? Ọ bụ olu ndị ka ọ bụ standard Igbo? Nwa di uko. All right. Ora Ebunem ma ọ bụ Ora Ebunam. Ọ bụrụ na, all right, thank you, Maazị Cyprian. So, ọ bụrụ na Ora Ebunam bụ Anambra, kedu maka Enugu? Ọ ga-ahụkwa Ora Ebunam ka ọ bụ Ora Ebunem ka ọ bụ and anything else? What is it going to be? What is it going to be? Ora Ebunam, Ora Ebunem, Ora Ebunam. All right. Okay. So we are seeing how our dialects are all manifested in our names, but we are looking at this now, not in a way that we've been looking at it before. Like we say our name without thinking whether it's dialectal or whether it is standard. But this class today is giving us that consciousness. The reason we are looking at this is this. You know that when you are outside of Igbo land completely, when a person says their names, you will understand where they are from. When a person who comes from Nigeria say their traditional native names, you will understand where they are from. People who are not from Nigeria, or maybe Africa, I don't know if this applies generally to Africa, may not know this. It says Enugu maybe or Ha Ebulam. I doubt if Enugu will be or Ebulam. Okay. Chinwendo Chidi, gịnị ka ị na-ede? Enu egwu ọjị. Ọjị Egbulam. Ọjị Egbulam na ọha Egbulam na ọra Egbulam ọ ofu ihe ahụ Chinwendo. I doubt. Oh, okay, Nwadioko, not Nwadioko. All right. I am coming to this. I pray I remember it when I'm supposed to say it. Let me say it now. Is it possible for us to write our names in Igbo rather than in English? Is it possible for us to write our names in Igbo rather than in English? Is it possible for me to write Ohebulem with O rather than O? Is it possible for me to write Nwadioko instead of all right, let me write it in a way that we will not get confused about what I wrote. Odimfe. Okay. Success is not about possibility, it's about acceptability. My question to that is acceptability by who? Is it by you, the owner of the name, or by the person that is reading your name? So I asked earlier, is it possible for us to write our Igbo names in Igbo rather than in English? Nwaduko, for instance, I pronounced it Nwaduko. The reason you know why I pronounced it Nwaduko, because I am an Igbo teacher, the first instinct is for me to pronounce it the way I saw it, rather than to assume it is the other way around. It says acceptable by the system of name entries. That is still vague for me. I don't know what that means. Name entries. Do we have a system of name entry in Nigeria? Please educate me. Right. I'm asking you now, is it possible for me, if I own what you call as a name, to write it this way rather than this way? And that applies to all of our names. Is it possible for me to write Ohebulem this way rather than Ohebulem? Is it possible? And somebody says it is not about possibility, it's about acceptability. I want us to dissect this question as we begin to round up this segment, this section, and to go over to the next section. Is it possible, first, to write our names in Igbo? Mmadụ niile ka m na-ajụ ajụjụ a. Okoro Odogwu says, no, you can't. You can't do what, Okoro? Okoro Odogwu. Okay, I think your answer is different from what I'm asking. Kingsley says, sometimes the keyboard doesn't support Igbo alphabet. Sometimes. So sometimes it supports it. But is a keyboard problem the problem we are facing in writing our names? What if you are writing it with pen? I'm not talking about here on YouTube and TikTok. I'm talking about writing our names by ourselves in black and white. Not talking about digital or whatever keyboard. Or the base, gini ki na-ede here. Oh my God. You wouldn't see official site that wouldn't mark it off. I don't understand that. Gini ki mean? You wouldn't see official site that wouldn't. Is it possible to write your name in Igbo? Ụmụafọ Igbo. Ọ bụ ihe pụrụ mee ide ha in Igbo? Not talking about whether you're writing it on a computer or what. Let me see what you wrote, Okorodo. Oh, it's not supposed to be done, but it's not supposed to be done. But people do it because most people don't care. Okorodogu, I also do not understand what you mean. I believe we should use it the Igbo way. Obinna Odogu. Kabota osisa. Nwetegoro. Otu osisa. Success. What I read is you will hardly see official sites that wouldn't mark it off. I still don't understand what that means. The question, Mazi Chekebo, is it possible for us to write our Igbo names in Igbo? us. Or dimfe or bihe purume. Obinna says, I believe we should use it the Igbo way. Wealth Chikwado say it is not possible. Well, Chikwado, why is it not possible? Success says, yes, you can. Okay. All right. Yes, you can. Mazichi Cheke. Mazi Cheke, Mano Cheke. Always you my in-law. Because Mazi Cheke, but my in-law. Are you my in-law? I am because it's possible by Mrs. Uzalo. If we use it other ways, I believe that's how things loses its value and eventually fade away. If I understood what you mean, Obinno, other ways, I don't know what other ways you mean. Okorodogu say, Wahala day. All right, so Okorodogu, the actual me what they are. He didn't like Igbo. Ọ gbagharịela m isi. Amaghị otu m si agụpụta ya, so I can't even tell ụmụnna ihe dere because I don't know what it is. All right, Chinwendu says absolutely possible, right? Using the English version instead of okay, right? Okay, ugbu a ka m ghọtara ihe dere Obinna. Thank you. Is it possible? Lillian King said, I'm new here and already confused. Confusion. Lillian, we are learning Igbo. Amam Igbo nwa Igbo. Ihe anyị na-amụta bụ the dialects of Igbo, and we're looking at the names, our Igbo names. When you say your name, you tell us whether it's dialectal or standard Igbo. And then from there, we're looking at our first names, our last names. Okay? And I would encourage you to just follow what we're doing. You will understand. You're welcome to the class, Lillian. All right. Okay. Again, I have gotten the answers. I have gotten answers from people. Once again, the last time I'm asking, is it possible to write our names in Igbo? Is it possible? If you have not answered this question, answer it yes or no. Yes, it is possible. No, it is not possible. I have gotten a person that says it's not possible, and I'm asking, why is it not possible? I've gotten a number of people that says, yes, you can. Can we write our names in Igbo? Is it possible? Again, Emmanuel Cheke is still emphasizing that, yes, it is possible. All right. Obinno Dogu say yes. Umuafu Igbo. Thank you, Val World. Thanks for the roses. Ndewo. Igbo Umuafu Igbo. Obinno Dogu say ihe anyị doro m anya. Obinna kiri ihe doro gị anya. In a Drema Anambra dialect. But yes, Nsowade. All right. The next question, excuse me. Why are we not writing our names in Igbo? Why do we not write? Why does the person that bears on her Ebulem not write it as on Ebulem? Why does the person that bears Nwadyoko write it as Nwadyuko? Why? Whether your name is dialectal or standard, whether it's standard or dialectal, it doesn't matter at this time. The question is, why would a person whose name is Nwadyuko not write Nwadyuko but write Nwadyuko? ụmụafọ Igbo, ana m ajụ unu ajụjụ a. Kedu ihe mere na anyị agaghị edenwu aha Igbo anyị n'Igbo? My honest opinion, I believe Western colonizers' ways are starting to become our norm, unfortunately. Starting to become, Obinna, are you saying starting to become? Who says Udara is difficult? See me, see trouble. What is your name, please? The person that says Udara is difficult. You don't have a name on your account. Chinwendu says, because they are not using Central Igbo. Why? How? Chinwendu, what do you mean by that? Because she may not know the proper way to write it. Who may not know? Emmanuel Chike, I mean in general. I mean our names. Our names. And if you are referring to Ohaibulem also, why would she not know the correct way to write it? It should be written properly with the right punctuation marks. Yes, it can. Do we have these punctuation marks available? Yes or no? I'm dealing with each answer the way it comes. Because it's easier to write in English. Why, Chibueze? Why is it easier? Because we have different dialects. Different dialects, Chinwendo. Do you think, like if you write Chinwendo, and put O here, do you think it's all about dialects, Chinwendo? If you write Chinwendo and put Pom no Oge, is it about dialects? Thank you, play. Thank you, Lily King. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, Useku Foods. Is it about dialects? Chinwendo, I'm asking you because this is your answer. Is it about the dialects? So we are dealing with the answer that says, yes, it is possible. And now I ask, why are we not doing it? And I'm getting several different answers. What is dialectal about Chinwendo? What is dialectal about writing it with O instead of just U? Chinwendo, I want you to answer that, please. What is dialectal about it? Like putting O here, is it a dialect thing or an Igbo thing? All right. Okorodogu says it's not dialect. I think it will be difficult for non-Igbos to pronounce. Difficult for non-Igbos to pronounce? Just like it is easy for you to pronounce the name of the sister or brother that came here today, whose last name is Guerra. It's easier for you to pronounce Guerra than to pronounce Igbo name. Is that what you mean? I have a question, sir. Does the Igbo language change from north to south, etc.? Lily King. I don't know about north to south, but this topic is about the different dialects of Igbo. And the answer is yes. The different dialects of Igbo, they vary from north to south, okay, east and west. But we have a standard form called SI. Okay, I've cleaned it, or standard Igbo, which we call Izugbe, Igbo Izugbe. But the different dialects are different. Okorodogu says, it's grammar, but many people don't know the right grammar. I do not understand that, Okorodogu. So again, it says our education system didn't teach us to do so. Good. Our education system did not teach us to write our names in Igbo. That is one beautiful answer I have gotten. Be beautiful and very reasonable. Same way, Igbo states, towns, and streets are written in English. Beautiful. We are not writing our names in Igbo because we are using English alphabets, which do not necessarily change the meaning based on inflections. All right. Emmanuel Cheke, I take the first part of your answer as very, very, very correct. The last part is what I don't understand. You talk about does not change the meaning based on inflation. I don't know what that means. Thank you, Lily King. I hope you understood my answer. Now, let me answer the two answers. Let me respond to the two answers. Our education system and also English, using an English alphabet. Oluwa 50, thank you. Oluwa 50 na China. Dalu. Right. Ụmụafọ Igbo, ihe m na-ajụ anyị bụ, does it pay us better to write having known what we know today? Lily, different answers you are getting, I believe, is coming from the different questions I'm asking. Also, keep learning, keep learning. We are following that there are people who are just new to our class. We are following that every week. And if you need personal attention to learning Igbo, we provide such resources as well. We are here because of people like you who are very eager to learn, who neither know how to speak Igbo well or, follow conversations in Igbo. So many of whom are Igbo born. We are here for you. And that's also why we take time to speak English in our class. All right. Chinwendu says CHI is the same sound everywhere. Okay, yeah, it's the same sound. I'm not sure that's our problem. I'm going to the answer that says our education system, and then we are using the English alphabet. Okay, the last topic I taught was about the Igbo alphabets. Lily King, please download the Omenka app. It will help you in learning how to pronounce words. And we are rebuilding Omenka app. It's coming up stronger. But go ahead and download Omenka app. And also go to our TikTok bio. Omenka app is on your Play Store and Apple Store. Okay, hold on. Let me read all so that I don't mean. Omenka app, just find it on your Play Store and your Apple Store. But if you want to join our Telegram group, go to our TikTok bio. You will see the link. Join Omenka Igbo Action Group. We are building a conversation there that follows after the class, so that after learning here, we'll continue the learning within the week. All right. Mrs. Suzalo said majority can't pronounce it well because they don't know Igbo alphabet. Who are the majority, Mrs. Suzalo? Who are the majority that can't pronounce it well? I need additional answer to that. Oluwa 50 say, I'm Igbo, born and brought up in Lagos, but I'm sure I speak Igbo more than some of my Omambala people. While are they? Oluwa 50 day. Yeah, the number. Thank God that you're speaking Igbo very well. All right. I have seen in Neke app. I have used it a while to compare with what we're doing in Omenka app. I can't confirm nor deny that it has a good content, but if you're using it fine, also go ahead and download Omenka app. It helps in pronouncing words for you. Okay. All right. Yeah, please, if you have not joined our Telegram group, go ahead and join that Telegram group. It is the bio of our TikTok account, and we are expecting more people to join. It will help us. Omenka. All right, that's the name we have, Omenka app. All right, so Obin Nodogu says, let me not miss what you wrote, Obin. Good question. Why is the English version getting teacher in school instead of the Igbo version? Good question. All right. The group is Omega Igbo Action Group on Telegram. That's what you will see on our bio. All right, we go one day. We go one day. There's a topic. Oluwa 50. Then Amambala I dey speak self, not the central general Igbo. My Igbo too strong for some people. Oh. No wahala. We're doing dialects and standard Igbo or central Igbo, and is allowed. I'm from Nteje, by the way. Oh, I see. No wonder. All right. All right. Now, we go back to our question. And Emmanuel Cheke says again, okay means rat. Based on grammatical inflection, okay means share. Based on grammatical inflection, okay English without the syntaxes will still be understood based on the usage. All right. What you are telling us is completely different from what I'm asking. Oh, I'm sorry. Ugonwa, are you seeing it now? All right. So Mazi Emmanuel Cheke, that is completely a different thing, okay? Now, what I'm saying has to do with just writing up instead of O in our Hebrew, writing Nwa Dioko instead of Nwa Diuko, whose meaning, if at all it has meaning in Igbo, whose meaning changes because it is with English alphabet. Onye dere aha Nwadiuko, ka m hụrụ ya na TikTok ebe a, ihe m kpọrọ ya bụ Nwadiuko. Mgbe m jụrụ ya kwuo ihe ọ pụtara, o dere m because nwa, that a child is scarce. That is how I understood that it is Nwadioko. Now, my question now began by saying, why don't we write our Igbo names in Igbo? All the answers that you all gave, the two answers that make meaning to my question is because our educational system did not teach us, because we are using Western education. And my other question, which goes back to everybody, is, she's in there, if we know, having known what we know today, if we begin to write our Igbo names in Igbo, does it in any way hurt us? Does it hurt us? Is it going to be like doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing? Ndewo Chizi. Ọ bụrụ na anyị bido ide aha anyị n'Igbo, o nwere ka o si merụ anyị ahụ? Ọ ga-egbu anyị? If you decide as a person who bears Igbo name, it wouldn't hurt us, but it will cost us. What would it cost us? What would it cost us? Kedu ihe ọ ga-efu anyị ọ bụrụ na anyị dee aha Igbo anyị n'Igbo? Mmadụ sị na ọ ga-ewe anyị ihe. Obinna na me advocates do everything the Igbo way, which is what? Which is what in relation to our conversation, Obinna? It wouldn't hurt us, but it would cost us. What would it cost us? I need a bidoride pụta aha anyị niile n'Igbo, our first names, our last names. And when I achọ ịmata ma aha anyị ọ bụ aha Olundi ma ọ bụ aha Igbo Izugbe. employment discrimination, cheesy, by putting all in Wadioko, it will cost Wadioko employment. Does it in any way sound politically correct, cheesy? Contra discrimination? Does Wadioko sound English enough that the person that hears it would think it is not Igbo? Ụmụnne na ụmụnna, onye na-aza Nwadiuko dee ya Nwadiuko, o meeri ndị ofe mmanụ anya ka o meeri ndị ugwu anya n'ọnọdụ na ha amaghịzi na ọ bụ Igbo ka ọ bụ. Is it possible? Yeah, Obinna, I understood. I knew I wanted you to, be specific. Okoro will say they were confused before the bomb. Don't understand. They were already confused before the bomb, so they will get more confused with the bomb. I don't know if that's what you mean, Okoro. Okay, let's go back. Let's reiterate, like what Cheesy said. I would believe Cheesy wrote it on a lighter board, okay? Like, is it really true? Does someone believe that if you write our Igbo names the Igbo way, it is going to cost us employment? It will create more discrimination for us. If your Igbo name is written out in full without the syntaxes, it will still be understood. The problem is not in the absence of syntax, but in the shortening or abbreviation of the name. All right, Emmanuel Cheke, you are going deeper. I don't know what you mean by syntax. All right, Chinwando say, I don't think so. Okay, I believe you, Chinwando. I don't know what you mean by syntax in this conversation. Right, let me read Chizi's point. He said, my point is that for us as the Igbo nation, we have no problems, but the rest of the world tend to not deal with native people if they find it harder to pronounce their names. And my question to you, Chizi, is, do you think Nwadiuko is more difficult to pronounce than Nwadiuko? Do you also think Nwadiuko makes your problem lesser in the eyes of those who do not like you as Igbo than Nwadiuko? As long as, in my opinion, as long as it is an Igbo name you bear, anybody who does not like Igbo does not like you. Whether that Igbo is written in English or is probably written in Igbo. If you like, I don't know how you want to change Nwadiuko or Nwadiuko to sound more English, so long as there's a perception that it is Igbo. The other thing is this: if a person has a problem pronouncing Nwadiuko, they will also have a problem pronouncing Nwadiuko. There's no difference. There is no difference. I rather think that a person will like to be more curious to understand the reason for the even though they may still pronounce it as Nwadiuko. But they want to know the reason for the Change of name costs, total change of our system, certificate. You don't need to change your names to put diacritic on your name. I do not agree with that. And for what is what, this is Nigeria that you are talking about. If you talk about certificates, yes. What you have on the certificate could be the English version. The way you represent yourself every day, I do not think it is with your certificate. You carry your certificate for head. This is my certificate. My name is Nwadiuko. Certificate is there as a paper. How you write your name whenever they ask you your name is what I'm talking about. And I don't know how many times you do things and people ask you about your certificate. Nwaduko still means the same thing, even if it's spelled Nwaduko. It does not mean the same thing at all. Nwaduko has no meaning, in my opinion. Does not in any way. This is us normalizing what is wrong that has been wrong for a while. You, Emmanuel Cheke, and Success got the right answers to say our education system, we are using the English alphabet. Yes. But now that we know that our education system is wrong and we're using the English alphabet is wrong, what I'm asking is, what stops us from making a change, adopting something that will create a change? I see, okay, let me read the whole thing you said. You said Nwaduko still means the same thing, even if it's spelled Nwaduko. I don't know. Because it's not common to hear anyone named, it still does not mean anything. That's what I'm saying. Nwaduko is different from Nwaduko. They are not having the same meaning. She wanted to say, my daughter uses her Igbo name at school. What's your daughter's name? Nnenna. Nnenna has no problem. Nnenna in America, in London, is the same as Nnenna. It has no other way you would have written it. That's correct. I'm talking about some names that require you to write it in Igbo. Some names. And we are given an example with Onha Ewulem. A person that bears Onha Ewulem writes it as Oha Ewulem. That's what we'll see. And when we read the name, we will read it as Onha. But we do not pay attention to see that this is not O, this is O. A person that bears Nwaduko writes it as Nwaduko. In this case, it affects the meaning. Because a person now that sees the name might read it as Nwaduko. A person like me will read it as Nwaduko. And I will begin to ask, what is the meaning? But if I saw it as Nwaduko, I will read it as Nwaduko. Education. And I want to start by saying to us, it is important for us to know that there is a difference between schooling and education. Which name do you want me to say slowly, Lily? Let me know which one. Nwaduko and Nwaduko. Onha Ewulem. Oha Ewulem. This is unpronounceable as far as English is, Igbo is concerned. This is pronounceable. And that is why even when we see it as O, we pronounce it as Oha. I believe the people from Mbano tend to pronounce Oko as Uko. Uko. In their natural Igbo dialect, Oko. Not really Mbano. I know people from Olo might do that, but it is dialectal. It's still not the problem we are dealing with here in terms of writing the this might take no one still on the center. Okay. Success, what is the comment? He said, I'm speaking of the course in all aspects. You already have the English version written, like you have Ifeanyi in your visa or certificate. Writing Ifeanyi indicates a different personality. How about when it calls for you to present your certificate, how about you write your certificate? What is in your certificate for the person who you are presenting your certificate to? How about you write it for them to avoid the doubts of whether it is the same name or not? How about in any other occasion, you write your name the way it is supposed to be in church, in the market, in the school, and all of that? How about you do that? How about you go from there to the point of wanting to change your name, which now you are talking about cost? How about that? That's what I'm saying. How about that? Before it gets to certificate, passports, all those things, how about we begin by learning how to write our names in the Igbo way? O and O are separate vowels, Chinwendo. You understand that, at least I know you do. Onye na-enwe ya aha, anyị gwago gị ka ekwugwa anyị aha gị. You say if we can write our names like that, let's not forget akara udolu ndalata isn't necessary. I don't know what that means. I don't know how to address you, but what you mean by akara udolu ndalata, I don't know what that means. And for what I am talking about, this conversation is primarily about putting O and O and A where they are supposed to be in our names before Akaru Dolu. I get your point, success. And what you mean by costing us, I get it. What I'm saying is, knowing what we know, it will not cost us our lives. Whether you write your name with A today, continue to write it yourself, and it's E in your certificate, you can defend it. People go change their names. It does not cost them their lives. It doesn't cost them a fortune. It doesn't cost them their wealth. And I was trying to address schooling and education. Shizzy, I know about government's action, which we do not have. And you know that as far as Nigeria is concerned, there's no government. And if there's anyone tomorrow, they will not do miracle. Government that exists in Nigeria is the one that rips us, the masses. And they don't care about you reforming your language. This is a reform that can only come from the people. It is a dot that makes the difference. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Chinwando. It is about the dots. It is not about the revolution that has to do with politics. It's about the revolution that has to do with the mindset and the education. Revolution, yes, but it is that revolution that has to do with education, being educated. Yeah. So, and that leads me to still try to touch on the difference between schooling and education. For so many of us, we have all been schooling. We have not been educated. For so many of us, we have more schooling in our lives than education. Cultural Renaissance Revolution. Thank you, Chizi. And that Cultural Renaissance Revolution is what I am calling for, is what we are calling for. And because if we do not, or when I continue, if we continue to learn without practicalizing, it amounts to nothing. Because we are preparing ourselves what we're going to hand over to the next generation. I support Chizi and overhauling of the academic sector. Well, you're still looking at academic sector. It has to do with schooling, and it has to do with the government. Thank you. Ozo Anfe. I don't know how to say your name. Thanks for joining us from New York. Thank you, Lily King. Okay, right. So what we're saying, all right, your husband's name is Susanna. And your name is Faye. All right, okay. Thank you for joining us. Uzonna Faye. Right. The difference between education and schooling is you are schooling for the system. When you are schooling what you are taking in what the system wants you to take in. And remember, in Nigeria, I'm saying most of these things in English because of the number of people that are here in this class today who are learning Igbo, who are not native speakers of Igbo. As far as it concerns Nigeria, the education system left for us was the British system, which was merely meant for us to get schooling and become servants in the public sector. That's why they are called public servants. The education system, quote and unquote, that we are supposed to have been well educated in is the one that started before schooling. It is the one that should have started before schooling. When you learn by acquisition first, you begin to learn by your environmental responses. I didn't know my computer is about dying. People around you. When you are supposed to learn from parents, siblings, when you're supposed to start learning from the cultural and environmental literacy materials. That's what I'm talking about. This education does not stop because you went to school. Neither does schooling replace this education. Which is more difficult than Spanish and French, Lily? Which one is that? Is it our Igbo language? Excuse me. Well, that is a notion that has been put out there that is not completely true, Lily. Our language is an ancient language. And it has not become a language that is unlearnable. The only problem we have is, as adults, we do not dedicate time to learning, especially language. Nigeria has over 200 different languages, yes, over 500. Whatever can make us all write our Igbo names correctly with Igbo letters, that same thing will make us forfeit European or foreign fitness, or foreign first names, baptismal names. Absolutely correct, Chizzy. And that is the education I am talking about. We, on this particular topic, started educating ourselves about the difference between the standard Igbo and our dialects. Got into names, how our names are different in our the ways we pronounce it. And now got into the issue of how we represent our names. Sisi, Ndewo, gịnị bụ ezigbo aha gị? And Peace says, it wouldn't hurt us, rather, Igbo people lack value for our language, and this brings about negligence in knowing the right thing. Some French words have diacritic marks. Yoruba have diacritic marks. Chinese have different ways of writing. Peace Obuna is correct. There is nothing that would stop us from writing our Igbo names the Igbo way, except that we are engrossed with the education or learning system that was introduced to us, which is the British way of learning. and which is a way that we tend to reject in one way, but have not seen the need to reject it in all ways. Today, I am opening our eyes in the area of our names. If there's anything that is personal to you, it is your name. If there's anything that you have a command over, it is your name. How people call your name, how people write your name, how people address you, how you want to be addressed is your personal identity. You make people to see you that way. Before certificate begins to come into play, thank you, Lily. Before any issue of certification or whatever, and if you want to go that far, go ahead and change your name on your certificate. Do a name change. Do an affidavit that you put diacritic on your names from today. That's all. Do an affidavit. If somebody brings your certificate and brings how you write your name, Ifeanyi, for instance, and say, why does it? You show the affidavit. That's your Igbo way of writing your name. If you are filling an American visa form, it has a column where it asks you how your name is written in your native way. Come on. What are you talking about? That is to say, is if you write your name Nwandioko, in that column, you will write your name as Nwandioko. If the government of America recognizes that there's a way your name can be written in the native way, what are you talking about? Ozonna Face says, I'm so sad. It's so sad that majority of black Americans have their slave masters' names. And in this class, it is so sad that we who have been part of this class have not seen the need that it is an important revolutionary step anybody can take in life in writing their Igbo name the Igbo way. Let's not talk about dropping your English name or whatever. That is a topic for another day. Do you have an Igbo name? Do you write it the way it is supposed to be written in Igbo? It's not their fault though. Yep. That's also a topic for another day. We're talking about today. It is not our fault that all of us write our Igbo names in English. It is not. But now we know. Lily, your husband gave you Ngozi, and Ngozi should be written with the diacritic under as Ngozi. Tell your husband that the class you joined today, the teacher said, this is the correct writing of your name, Ngozi. Chinwendo, gịnị bụ nwanyị kpom? Is that your second Igbo name is nwanyị kpom? Gịnị ka ọ pụtara? What is it? Yeah, so Lily, this is the correct pronunciation of your name. Okay? Oh, strong woman. I don't know. That's dialectal, right? The dots go only on vowels. I have taught this in the class. There are two separate types of vowels we have in Igbo. The heavy and the light. And the light is the one that carries this. The heavy is the one that does not carry it. And there's a selection, a natural selection between the heavy and the light. So for Ngozi, it is Ozi, not Ozi. Because of the way we write Ngozi, a lot of people who are not Igbo pronounce Ngozi as Ngozi, and you don't blame them. If they had seen you write Ngozi like this, they would make effort to pronounce your name as Ngozi and not to mess it up by pronouncing it Ngozi. And it's okay with you that they pronounce your name Ngozi, so long as it's written in English. What I mean by in English is written without the diacritic. Because if you also begin to analyze it, this is neither Igbo nor English. Currently, our app does not have a content for that. What you have is the correct pronunciation of words in Omenka app. I'm not teaching Imo dialect. I'm teaching standard Igbo, CC. I didn't catch your name. Igbo Na-asụ n'olu aspects of Igbo dialects. And we are looking at the standard Igbo. So if I'm not speaking Anambra, that does not mean that I'm speaking Imo. I'm speaking Igbo, Izugbe. All right. So, wrapping up today's class, I'm looking at these revolutionary personal efforts that each one of us can take in beginning to change things that are not working well in Igbo language, starting by changing the way we write our names. It has nothing to do with the government. Anybody that tells you the government is going to be the one to change your name is a lie. We have a relationship with the group called Otusuwaku Igbo. I'm speaking English because of those that do not understand Igbo who are in my class. There are many of them, Stephen. Lily King is not Igbo. Uzonna Faye is not Igbo. And there are several other Igbo sons and daughters who come to my class who do not understand Igbo properly. And I carry these people along. Okay? So I have mastered the effort of mixing Igbo and English in my class. But there's a way the conversation will go. I speak more Igbo or I speak more English. In today's class, towards this end of the class, I've been speaking more English because of the sensitivity of what I'm saying. Okay? So you are welcome, Stephen. Ndewo. All right. So I'm saying no government is going to help you and I to know how to write our names in Igbo. It is going to be a personal effort. I am not preaching today you should drop your English name. Is your decision. I have seen people who drop their English names. But I see that many people who do that are when they want to join politics. Many times when people want to join politics, they tend to become more cultural, for their political. All right. So it is a proper thing to do, okay? For us to understand that, first of all, we have been using the Western alphabets, the Western educational alphabet to write our Igbo names. And I was saying, we are in relationship with a group called Otusuwaku Igbo. Otua na-agba mbọ na-aga na gọọmenti na-agba achọ ka gọọmenti gbanwee ụfọdụ aha obodo ndị ọcha deriri. Chinwe ịbịara n'azụ oge taa, ọ dịkwa mma? Ndewo. Ụfọdụ aha dịka Ọka, Ọkụ naanị, Anambra, all of those names that ndị ọcha bịara derie. Okay, now I want to let you know that is purely political. That is going to also take government action for that to happen.
You might decide to write Anambra as Omambala, yes. But for official documentation, you might have to write it as Omambala. I mean Anambra. You might decide to write Oka. I do it sometimes as OKA. But for official documentation, you might have to write it the way the English has written it, right? But nobody will demand of you any day you change from Ngozi to Ngozi, from Wabiuko to Wabiuko, from Ohaegulim to Ohaegulim. Nobody will demand from you any explanation. Nobody. Chizi said, I remember Mazen Nadokano dedicated a broadcast session teaching about changing the names to correct Igbo spelling and also correcting our anglicized towns and villages names. I'm not the first saying it's cheesy. I'm not the second. I'm not going to be the last. But I'm now saying it in this space where we found ourselves to add to the consciousness again. Igbo, it is high time we've considered writing our Igbo names in Igbo. And this is what I'm going to use to wrap up this topic, Igbo Na-asụ n'olu, aspects of Igbo dialects. I'm done with this topic today. If we're going to revisit it, we're going to come back to it. That will be much later. You're going to see the next topic we'll discuss within the week. Are you able to change the writing of your name to reflect Igbo? Are you able to add diacritics to your name, your own personal name? God bless you all. Are you able to do that? It is your personal revolutionary responsibility to do that. And you can tell people, this is how I write my name. And leave it to the time it will come to you, changing it on certificate or passport or whatever. And then, what will it cost you changing your name, swearing affidavit that you are adding O and O to your name the way they are supposed to be? Why? What will it cost you? Yeah, Chino Alumogo. I mean, reading in English but spoken called in Igbo is all the same. This is about fighting over 400 years of hegemony. Okay? All of our names. Na mmechi anyị nke ụbọchị taa, ana m ekele mmadụ niile ndị sonyere na ihe ọmụmụ nke ụbọchị taa. Karịchasịa ndị dere ihe, ndị nyere onyinye, ndị pịrị anyị aka n'igwe, mmadụ ndị bịara ọhụrụ, ndị taa mbụ ha na-abịa na klaasị a wee soro anyị mụta ihe. I seriously value your presence, all of you. Thank you, my brother Ikenna. Appreciate you so much. The first Monday of next month is going to be a conversational class. 23 Network, Dalo, thank you. It's going to be a conversational class, first Monday of next month. And my team has said, why don't we take a conversation that is going to discuss everything in Igbo? 23 Network, so Monday kembunia onwa na-abịa abịa, anyị gaje iwepụta ohere kwuo ihe ọbụla sara Igbo. Okay, we're going to be discussing in Igbo any topic, ranging from language to culture to politics to history and all of that. Okay, do not miss the class. But before then, next week I'm going to be treating a different topic. I think next week I still have 2 more Mondays before the end of the month. Hopefully it's a topic I might treat twice before we get to the conversational class. But I really, really do appreciate your presence today. Please, if you are not on our Telegram group, go to our bio, click on the link there and join Omenka Igbo Action Group. If you have not downloaded Omenka app and you need to learn Igbo, whether you are like Bozonna Faye or Lily, who are married to Igbo people,
and you want to start your journey in learning Igbo, Omenka app is very much available on your Play Store and your Apple Store. My class here is every Monday. It is free. Most of what we have provided as resources are free. But very soon, our app is going to include subscription for lessons. We are beginning to have lessons in Omenka app where you can subscribe to learn. And that wouldn't just be free. We are rebuilding the app. Right now, everything on the app is free. You can go to, go up and down in it and learn whatever you want to learn, starting from your level, okay? My class is every Monday, 12 noon Eastern time. 12 noon Eastern time. The one-on-one coaching is something that people can subscribe to. For you, who's on that? Is either you go to our organizational website to subscribe for one-on-one. We sign a teacher to you, or you wait till we bring our class on Omenka app where there is subscription package, and it will take you from A to Z of Igbo language learning. Okay, sounds and letters, everything, they are all there, please. But to continue in having conversations immediately after class within the week, join our Telegram group. We are doing this action group for the sake of the topic that I taught today. Yes, that's the website. You will go to resources. You will see Igbo literacy class, Igbo literacy projects. The app on the website, that's where you can sign up for one-on-one, and we will assign teachers for you. Let me read what you two people are saying. Tuesday says the correctly added diacritics makes the names look and sound so cute when you find them as account name on X and other social media handles. Thank you, Chizzy. Success says ndị eji aha ha eme ọnụ atụkwanụ. I didn't get that, Success. Jesus said, my friend's name is Omiko. You can imagine that. And sincerely, when you're writing a name like Omiko, there's no other way to write it for a person to understand how it is pronounced correctly, other than writing it with Igbo. Omiko. Look at that name. Look at that wonderful name, Omiko. And look at how an English way can mess it up. It becomes Omiko. It becomes Omiko. It becomes Omiko. It can become anything. Anything but Omiko. But so long as it comes with this diacritic, an Igbo person will know what it is. Compassion, mercy. And the person who cannot pronounce it, no explanation. It's just Omiko, that's all. This is Omiko. This is Omiko. This is Omiko. This is anything you can call it. But this is Omiko. That's the beauty of Igbo. All right. Please, if you have questions more to ask, if you're on the Telegram group, send a question there. It's been very quiet there for now because people are not really putting what they are learning here to work. We are expecting those who are really learning Igbo to continue conversations there. There's a community of people who are willing to help you in your learning journey. That's why one of the reasons we created that group, and we would like for us to really use it very well without fear of anybody maybe criticizing you. But it's awesome that we are putting all of these things to work. And namara Chineke, amam na aga m ahụ mmadụ niile ọzọkwa na izu na-abịa abịa. Chizi, ị bịara n'azụ oge taa. You came to class late. That's not good of you. And that's not what we know you for, okay? So we missed you in the early part of the class. And Chinwe, you also came late. Please, let's be here next week Monday, 12 noon Eastern time. I guess it's 5 p.m. Nigerian time, right? Yes, I guess 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Right. So wherever you are, please, yeah, it's fine, Chizzy. You are forgiven. All right. Let's be Umuafi Igbo that represent Igbo wherever we go. I do not really create event notices on TikTok. Maybe I will start doing that. I have not thought much about that, even though earlier I used to do that. Okay, maybe I can do that next time before the class. Maybe before next Monday, I will publish the topic for next week, and then that will be fine. Success. You said I was speaking of people you use their names for example. What happened to those people? I didn't see what you wrote. All right, Lily, tell me about this. You can volunteer to help us create event notices. That would be great. All right, please, can we talk about it, lady? Just DM me, okay? Chinwendu says all right, please, let's talk about it, okay? My Igbo name, my mom's Igbo name is Onyenonachi. Write it well, Chinwendu, next time, write it well. All right, Lily, thank you for volunteering to do that. Appreciate everybody. Oh, okay. Gratitude to those whose names were used today for examples. Special thanks to them that they didn't sue me that I used their names. All right. Appreciate you, everybody. God bless you. See you in the next class on Monday. Oh, my God.